Hello and welcome to Vlogmas Day 21. Oh my gosh, we're nearly there. I finally felt well enough to go back to work today. Hey! So I thought, because really I haven't really had a lot to film today because obviously work's been really, really busy. I've got home, had my tea, so I thought I would do the Christmas tag challenge. I saw Kitty on her channel, Kitty Chaos. I'd done it and she'd left a list of the questions underneath, and I'd seen some of the Christmas tag challenges going around, hence why I've got my elf hat on. Look at that, isn't that cool? Complete with the ears, look. And I thought, oh, I might as well have a go, because I knew that I wouldn't really have much else to film today because it's being Monday, just the usual run-of-the-mill day. So I've got my phone with the questions on, so I'm going to have a go at answering them, so see how this goes. So anyway, so here we go. So question number 1. When do you start getting excited about Christmas? Oh gosh. It's funny really, I don't get excited and probably until the last minute, usually when I finish work, because I work in an industry where we tend to be extremely busy at this time of year. So for me, Christmas can be both a blessing and a curse really, because my actual day job is just so ridiculously busy. So I kind of find it really hard to enjoy the sort of run up to it, because I'm usually quite stressed with long hours at work, and then I'm trying to fit in all my Christmas shopping, and having an 8-year-old as well. They tend to have such a busy schedule at this time of year with Christmas parties and plays and things. I'm just like, oh my god, there's just too much to remember. So I tend to get excited really once I've actually sort of finished work, usually my last day of work, because we usually have a laugh and we have like a little tombola and I bring some booze home and stuff, and that's when I finally sort of feel this is it, my Christmas is starting. So for me, I tend to get really excited around sort of that time. The only other time I sort of kind of feel a slight start of excitement is because I live in Birmingham. We have the Frankfurt German Christmas market comes every year. And when that arrives, I kind of start to feel a little bit festive, because it arrives quite early. I think it arrives around about, I don't know if it's the end of November or beginning of December. I can't remember the dates now. And that always makes you feel quite festive, apart from the fact it's so flipping busy. So yeah, usually when I finish work. Number 2, do you still have advent calendars? No, I don't personally. My son's got a little chocolate minion one this year. I haven't had an advent calendar for years. And it just seems in the last couple of years the trend has started for the like beauty ones and stuff, which I've looked at, but I've never actually, oh sorry, Richie head, but I've never had one because they're always quite expensive, and I can't really justify the expense at this time of year because I've got other things to spend money on. So no, and like I said in a previous video, my best memories of advent calendars was the one that my mum used to bring out every single year. And it was so battered and old by the time I think we got rid of it. And it was so exciting when you opened the double doors on Christmas Eve, because I was like, this was it. This was, oh my god, Christmas is coming, Christmas is coming. Ah! But I mean, I must admit, the beauty calendars do look really amazing. If I had the money, I would probably invest in one. So no, sadly, I don't have an advent calendar. I don't even have a chocolate one. Only my son has one. The joys of getting old. Question number 3. What are your favourite Christmas films? Well, there is one Christmas film that I really love that my husband can't stand, but I really like it, which is Scrooged with Bill Murray. I don't know how many of you have ever seen that one. And I find it really, really funny. It's just a modern version of Scrooge. But there's something about it with, I can't think of the actress's name now who's in it, who plays like this sort of fairy character who's just really, really funny, who like beats him up all the time. And it's got the song with Annie Lennox singing, Is It Put a Little Love in Your Heart? And every time I hear that song, it makes me feel really, really Christmassy and really festive. I don't really get to watch it very often because my husband, like I say, he's not a fan of that film, but I really, really like it. I also love Home Alone, because who doesn't like Home Alone? That's just such a good festive film, isn't it? I really love that. And I only saw for the very first time last year Elf. I'd never seen Elf before, and I did watch it again this year. That's quite a good film, but I think though my favourite has to be Scrooged. As I just think that it's just so funny. It really tickles me. And it's something about I'm a big fan of Bill Murray as well, going back to the days of Ghostbusters, I suppose. Show me age. So there you go. Number 4, do you have any funny Christmas memories? I don't really have any funny ones, no. I'm trying to think about this really. No, I have lots of nice Christmas memories of when I was a child. waking up to like fantastic, lovely presents from my mum and dad when I was little. I don't really have any funny ones though, because I don't really recall anything really funny happening. You know, my Christmases are always quite run of the mill with the family. You know, I can't really think of anything particularly funny. Oh, the only funny thing we did one year was when Oliver was really little, we went all out one year decorating the house, and on Christmas Eve we went absolutely mad, and we put like what was supposed to look like footprints coming in from the door, like Santa's footprints in flour or something. I think my husband did them in, but they look more like bombs than footprints, because we'd like did like a cut out, like a little stencil, and put the flour in it. And when he heard afterwards, I said to him, they look more like bombs than footprints. What's that supposed to be? But beyond that, no, not really. I'm quite a boring person. I just have nice memories of Christmas. Number 5, talk us through your typical Christmas day. Well, now that I have Oliver, my Christmas day pretty much is quite often me waiting for him to wake up sometimes. Now he's a little bit older, he doesn't get up so early. And he'll come in to us, because I like put his stocking at the end of his he puts his stocking at the end of his bed on Christmas Eve, and I tiptoe in and put stuff in his stocking while he's asleep. So quite often he'll wake up and I can hear him opening his stocking up and like giggling at the things he's got, and he'll come running in going, look what I've got, and like sit on our bed and show us. And then we all sort of get dressed and go downstairs. And the first thing I always have to do is I've got to have a cup of tea when I'm sorting out, when we're opening presents. And I usually put some Christmas music on. Sometimes I'll try and do a playlist the night before if I'm really organised. So I put some Christmas music on, and then we get set to opening presents. And obviously I just sit and watch Oliver open all of his, because that's the one thing I find now I'm older and I'm a parent. I want Oliver to have the kind of Christmas memories that I have. My memories of Christmas as a child are fantastic, of waking up in the morning to find my stocking at the end of my bed with stuff in it, and then going down and Mum would have put the presents out after we'd gone to bed, and it would be like, oh my gosh, Father Christmas has been, this is so exciting. And I want Oliver to have the same kind of, things that I did. So yeah, I sort of sit back and watch him open his presents, and I just take such enjoyment watching his face when he sees what he's got, especially when there's things that he's not expecting to get, which is really lovely. Obviously, we don't go overboard because I don't have that much money, but I always try and get him the main things that he's asked for, and then I get some surprise things that he's maybe not expecting. And then it's a case of have a cup of tea, usually have something to eat, and then get dressed. And then if we're going somewhere for Christmas Day, if we're going to like one of our parents, then we usually get dressed and head over to one of the sets of parents, have lunch with them and stay for a bit. And then normally we tend to come home, and our big tradition in this house is we have to watch Doctor Who on Christmas Day. It's an absolute, there's just no negotiation in that. All the other Christmas things that are on don't really matter to me. My one stipulation on Christmas Day is I've got to sit down with a drink and I need to be able to watch Doctor Who. And usually we like to do that at home, and we all sit on the sofa cuddled up together under a blanket, a bit of drink. Well, obviously Oliver doesn't have booze, I drink. Oliver has some pop, and we watch Doctor Who, and that's an absolute must really for us, because we're such big Doctor Who fans in this house. So yeah, that's what we tend to do. We usually spend it with one set of parents. I think we've only done one year when we've actually been at home on our own with Oliver since we've had him, but we normally try and see one set of grandparents, if not both. So number 6, what do you eat for Christmas dinner? Well, I'll be very traditional. No matter whose house we're at, whether it be my parents, my husband's parents, or whether we're at home, it's always roast turkey. Always, with all the trimmings, and like bread sauce and all the veg and pigs in blankets, all of that. It's got to be done. Absolutely has to be done. I'm not a fan of Christmas pudding. I will say that. So I tend to have, if we're at my mum's, because she knows I don't like Christmas pudding, bless her, she'll nearly always buy a chocolate log. I love chocolate Yule logs. Oh my God, they're like the best thing ever. I am partial to Christmas cake, but not Christmas pudding. I don't know why it's for Christmas pudding. I'm just not that keen. So my mum always buys like a chocolate log and stuff. And I love Christmas. I just love Christmas lunch with the crackers and the party hats, the silly jokes, the little things you get in them. If we go to my parents, my dad cooks, and my dad's a fantastic cook. Or so is my mum, to be fair. They're both really good cooks. But my dad does all the cooking, and it's just lovely. If we go to my in-laws, Then my brother-in-law cooks, and he used to be a chef, and I've never seen food. Your plate literally comes up piled with just loads and loads of food, so it's lovely. It's really nice. No matter whose house we go to, we get so well fed. I come home, pooh, I'm able to move. So that's really lovely. So yeah, definitely traditional Christmas fare for us. It is. Number 7, do you have any Christmas traditions? The only thing that I've really stuck to now that I've become a mum is the one tradition I always do is I always do a stocking for Oliver, and it's empty when he goes to bed at night, and I sneak in and I fill it up with stuff, and tell him that Father Christmas has come in and left stuff in his stocking, because my mum used to do the same for me right until even when I was a teenager, I still had a stocking at the end of my bed, and I'd had it was so old. I think mine had like the Star of Bethlehem on it, and like a little. I don't know if it had. I think it had like Mary and Joseph. I can't remember now. Mine was quite traditional. It was really lovely. So I do the same for Oliver. That is one tradition that I was determined to keep, was that he would have a Christmas stocking with these little things in it. We also do things like we put reindeer food out in the back garden. Not the front, as I did one year. I made the biggest mistake of buying the sort of reindeer food with the sparkly bits in it and put it outside my front door on like the steps going up into the drive. Oh God, no, it was a nightmare. It was the worst thing I could ever do, because every time we walked in and out of the house, I kept treading it into the carpet. So what we do now is we sprinkle it in our back garden, and then Stu one year said, oh come on, we'll put it on top of the shed so that Rudolph knows where to land on top of the shed. So that's something we do, and we do try and leave stuff out for Father Christmas. There's this new thing as well that I've seen. I haven't really partaken in it. I don't know where it's come from. It's like the Christmas Eve box thing where kids have like a box with a video and pyjamas in it. I felt really mean because I didn't do that last year, and I haven't done it again this year because it's not a tradition I grew up with. It seems to be a fairly recent thing. Maybe people can tell me where this has come from. I don't know if it's American or quite where this has come from. It's not something I tend to do because I just really haven't sort of got into it. But yeah, I suppose there are traditions are putting the reindeer food out. Right. Oh, hang on, I've lost my questions. Right. 8. Which are your favourite Christmas songs? Well, I'm very partial to Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. There's something about that song that every time I hear it, it's just Christmas. It's straight away it's Christmas, and it makes me a bit emotional. I really don't know why. It's really strange. I also love Winter Wonderland. I like the old 1960s Christmas songs. I love loads of those. I really do. There's something about them. I don't know what it is that make me really, really nostalgic. Like I say, Christmassy. Plus, who doesn't like a bit of Last Christmas, you know? I wham. Because that goes right back to my childhood. I love all the ones that I grew up with, you know, like I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. All of those, you know, they're just ingrained in me, I think, really, from when I was such a young age. But yeah, Mariah Carey's definitely a favourite. Number 9, what is the best Christmas present you ever received? Oh gosh, this is really hard. I really had to think about this one. Because being a 40, if you can imagine, I've had quite a lot of things given to me over the years. So I was really trying to think about this. One of the things I remember many years ago, when Stuart and I hadn't been together that long, he got my engagement ring redone for me. He got my engagement ring redone, and he gave me an iPod. And I think it might have been our first Christmas together, actually. And it sounds terribly materialistic, but oh my God, I remember the excitement that somebody had given me these things. And the iPod, it was when iPods were still fairly in their infancy. I think it was probably like the second generation one I had, before all the fancy ones that you get now, before even the Apple iPhone or any of those were even thought of, you know. So we're going back a long time. Because I've known him 13 years, so that gives you some idea how long ago it was. I think that's one of the best things I've ever been given. I've still got that iPod. I just remember being absolutely overjoyed that somebody would think so much of me to give me something like that. And this beautiful engagement ring, which I'm really sad to say I no longer have, because I had it remodelled and then I lost it. I lost the one that got remodelled when Oliver was a baby. And the one I wear now is the one I've had this one now for, you can see it there, for quite a few years. And it's lovely. So yeah, I've got a bit of a history with engagement rings. Poor Mr. S. There is a story to it. I can't really divulge what. Well, I can't really say why. It's to do with the industry I work in as to why I've now got got different rings and stuff. So, but yeah. So yeah, probably my engagement ring and the iPod that he gave me all those years ago. And I think one of the best Christmas presents, or one of the best things I've ever had, was my first year of being a mum. Oliver's first Christmas was just. Well, it was good and bad, because I remember being really excited because it was his first Christmas, and it was awful because he was so ill. Oliver had this terrible tendency when he was little, and I'm sure lots of parents will tell you this when they've got really, really little ones. He always seemed to manage to get ill at Christmas, and I got to a point where I was almost dreading it because I'd be like, oh, here we go again, because I think after his very first Christmas he got the norovirus. Poor kid, he was so poorly. Yeah, I think that was one of the best Christmas presents really, was being able to have, Oliver's first Christmas was lovely, apart from the illness. Plus he was obviously a little bit little to understand it, but it was just the joy of having somebody else there that we could share it with. So yeah, it's that, I suppose. Right, and number 10, real or fake Christmas tree? Well, I have a fake one, because I think if I had a real one, as lovely as they are, the needles would not only drive me mad, but my husband is very particular about dust, especially with regards to the computers that we have in our living room, which are quite expensive. And I could just imagine him going absolutely bananas at the thought of a real Christmas tree shedding pine needles all around his beloved computer. Oh my God, no. That would just be his worst nightmare. I remember many years ago, I think I was a student at the time, so I would have been about 19 or 20. My mum actually did have a real Christmas tree. It was the only one. I think I only ever had about one. And I think we spent the rest of the year picking up pine needles, and my mum was like, never again am I doing that. So I did actually buy a new Christmas tree this year. I was a bit gutted because it didn't look like it did on the box. It wasn't all bushy like I was hoping for. It was still a bit sparse. It's better than what I had before. So no, I'm definitely a fake Christmas tree girl, and I have a fibre optic one as well downstairs. Like I say, the real ones, they look lovely, but I just can't do them with the pine needles. I know you can get ones, or you can stick stuff on them, I think, can't you, to stop the pine needles from dropping and whatnot, but I'm not that fussed, really. And plus my living room isn't that big, and I just imagine knocking into it all the time and sending things flying. So, no. So that's it. That's the end of the questions. I hope you've enjoyed my little ramblings. I'm really sorry once again that Vlogmas has been such a flipping disaster. My mother once said to me, and I quite agree, that Christmas should be in the middle of the year when it's warm and sunny. I think I'm inclined to agree with it, because we all just seem to end up ill at this time of year. It's just a total nightmare. So, yeah, if you want to have a go, I will list the questions underneath the video. Or at least I will try to remember to, because I'm a bit scatty at the moment, so you do have to kind of bear with me. Goodness knows how I'm going to survive Christmas at this rate. It's a wonder if I've actually remembered to get everything I need. It's a wonder I'm in one piece. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. So if you want to have a go, I will put the questions underneath. Please let me know if you do have a go at this tag, because obviously only a few days left now before the big day arrives. Woohoo! And as always, you can come and see me at my blog at www.nattynikki.com, on Twitter, GamerGirl0621, on Instagram, where I'm still doing the Bloggers Instagram Advent. That's the only Instagram challenge I have managed to keep up with. I need to say actually a big apology to Leah from Leah XL, because I did start her Christmas Instagram tag with great gusto, and then I got ill and it's all gone a bit wrong. So I've only managed to keep up with the other one. So Leah, I'm really sorry. I did try. I promise you I tried. I promise. I'm sorry. It just went wrong. So yeah, I'm still doing that, and you can see me on Instagram at Natty Nikki. Anywhere else you want to find me? I think that'll do it, really, won't it? I think you've all seen enough for me for one night. Anyway, I'm going to head off now, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!